I don't want to apply makeup anymore. I don't want to do that. Welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I am going to talk about this baby right here. I think everyone knows this foundation. It is the MAC Studio Fix Fluid Foundation and it is their bestseller. So what I was thinking, I thought it would be nice to share my tips and tricks I have with this foundation, because I know that most of you guys know that this is a foundation for people with like normal to oily skin, full coverage, buildable and matte. But I think there are a lot of ways you can use this product even if you have dry skin. So that is what I wanted to share with you today. I have 4 looks in mind. I don't even know if I can call it a look, but I am going to apply this foundation in 4 different ways. And I am going to end with the way I like to wear it, because I have to go to work in a few hours, so I can just leave it on. So yeah, sorry. So before we jump into the video, what I think is very important in a foundation is that it has SPF 15. I like that in a foundation, and it comes in a lot of shades. I believe 42 shades, but it can be more. I'm not sure, but I will link it somewhere on this screen. And yeah, let's jump right into the video. Alrighty, so I have on my moisturizer. I did my eyebrows and my eyes, but no primer because I wanted to show you the foundation on its own. And we're going to start off with people who have a dry skin. Now, what I was saying before, if you have dry skin, I know that dry skin and matte foundation are like, you know, almost like enemies. But there is a product and it's called the MAC Essential Oils, which is so beautiful if you have dry skin and you want to use the Studio Fix Fluid, because it's extremely hydrating and your skin will absorb the oil, so it's like nice and glowy. So what I'm gonna do, I am going to apply the oil, I think about 3 drops on my entire face, and then I am going over it with the Studio Fix Fluid, and I am in the shade NC40 and I broke the pump. I don't know what I did. Let's say it's just me, because I break everything, like everything, and I hate that about myself, but you know, just gotta deal with it. And before I am going to apply the foundation and the oil, I am going to spray some Fix Plus on my face, which I do every time. It doesn't matter if I'm going for a full coverage look, just apply it. It gives like the face like that nice hydration. Feels good, love it, you need it. And they have 4 cents right now, so that's a good thing. Okay, so about, you know, when I say 3 drops, I mean like 4 drops or maybe 5. I like to use a lot. I'm just gonna apply it all over the face. And I try to massage this oil into my skin. I'll warm it up. Feels good. Looks nice. See, and it's not even enough. I need another drop. There we go. Alrighty, there we go. And we're just gonna go for a normal coverage, not too much, not too little, just, and because I broke the pump, I'm just gonna put it onto the back of my hand, and I think this will be enough, so that's what we're gonna do. And I'm using this MAC 130 brush, a duo fiber brush, and stippling it onto my face. And what I like to do is, because this foundation is a bit drier than other MAC foundations, I like to do one part first. So not apply the foundation first with my hands and then blending it out. I like to apply it on one side first, blend it out, and then do the rest of my face. And for those of you guys who didn't know, a duo fiber brush is just going to give you a very natural finish, especially when you compare it with a buffing brush like a kabuki brush, because it's more dense and it's going to be a lot more coverage. And if you have dry skin, you can also use a primer underneath the oil, but try not to use too much, because otherwise I'm afraid that it gets too slippery, you know what I mean? So try to use as less product as possible, and of course a good moisturizer. That is key. I mean, good skin is good makeup. Bad skin, and I don't mean with bad skin people who have skin problems, I mean people who do not take care of their skin. So don't get me wrong, okay? This is actually my first MAC brush, the 130, and I think I have it for 8 years, maybe longer. I always used to apply my foundation with this baby. Alrighty, so this is the foundation. I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit more. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Again, I am going to spray a little bit of Fix Plus. You can set your foundation using a powder. If you're doing that, please do not use the MAC Studio Fix powder, since that is a foundation and it's gonna give you coverage. It's pretty dry. Do not use that when you have dry skin. That's just my opinion. If you have dry skin and you use it, you know, do your thing, but I just do not like the way it looks, because the powder sits on your skin and it's just gonna, you know, make those dry areas a lot more noticeable. So what I would do is use a very lightweight powder, such as a blob powder or a mineral powder. I think that looks beautiful. Just a little bit on the T-zone, just to make it little bit less glowy if you like to, but if it were me, I would just leave it the way it is. Of course, concealer, bronzer, and the rest, but this is just the essential oils and MAC NC40 Studio Fix Fluid without a primer, but with the hair on my face. See, it's not too matte, it is still hydrating and glowy, and that's because of the essential oils. So let's remove it and let's do people with extremely dry skin. Okay, so now I am going to show you something for people who have extremely dry skin, and with that I mean, like, when you look at the skin you can see those dry patches. Unfortunately, I do not have that. Well, it's not unfortunately, I'm actually pretty happy about that, but I cannot let you see, you know, what this product in my hand does, but I'm still gonna apply it and talk about it, so maybe it will help and you can go to your local MAC store and try it out for yourself. So what I'm going to use is this Prep and Prime Essential Oil Stick. Now, when I saw this product for the first time, I was like, what is that? What do you need to do? Like, it looks like deodorant to me, and what do you do with a oil stick? So I asked somebody who is a trainer at MAC, like, what do I need to do with this product? And she was telling me, since she had very, very dry skin, you could see it on her face, she applies this on top of the areas where it's dry, of course, moisturizer and serum and stuff like that. And it looked a bomb, because she was telling me that there is a difference between the essential oil, like the liquid, and the stick, because your skin will absorb the oil, like the liquid form, and with the stick, it sits onto your skin. So it looks better when you apply a foundation on top of it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna use my finger. You can apply it straight from like the stick, but I don't like to do that. I don't like to go like this on my face. It's gonna give you wrinkles, and I think it is too much. So since I don't have like very dry patches, I'm just gonna apply it actually kind of like a highlighter, so I can get a very glowy look on the cheekbones. Like here, do you see that? A little bit on my nose, just because I am who I am. People go, oh, why are you doing that? I don't care, I like that, okay? On the forehead. And I wish I had her with me so I could actually show you the difference between how her skin looks with that foundation and then with the essential oil stick and then Studio Fix Fluid. Oh yeah, that's not gonna happen, so you're just gonna do it with me. But like I said, go to your local MAC store, try it out, and I think you'll love it. I'm going to use the same brush, the 131, and I don't even know if I want to wear foundation today because I have to work, but I have to take it off, reapply it. I hate that. Let's go over it with a beauty blender. I'm gonna apply this with a beauty blender. That's better because I don't want to move the oil. It's kind of tacky. If you feel your skin after you apply the stick, it kind of feels tacky, and I really like that. Not when you have oily skin. You're not gonna like that at all. Alrighty, look at that. You see what I mean? Like it's very, ooh, my highlighter under my eyebrows is almost white. Not pretty, but I'm not gonna fix it right now. I don't feel like it, just gonna. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I mean, because it's glowier than the essential oils. That's why I didn't apply it on my entire face. I just applied it on the highest points, and that's what she meant with it sits on your skin, and your skin doesn't absorb it that much as it does with the essential oils. I think this is a very, very great trick for people who want to use a very good foundation that stays on almost like the entire day, and you know, you just need a little bit to achieve a pretty flawless finish. And if you want to go full out, you can also do this with this babe. So it's no wonder that this is MAC's bestseller. Let's go glam. I'm going to show you how to achieve flawless looking face. We're going to go full coverage. We're going to cover the soul. I like this. Let's do that. By the way, can we talk about this? This is a new micellar, is that how you pronounce it? Micellar water. And this is amazing. I hate normal MAC wipes. I hate them. When I use it on my face turns red, and you know, I'm brown. I don't get red ever, but with that my face turns red. But this one, amazing. It is especially made for people with sensitive skin, very hydrating, and it has a little bit of foam, and it takes off your makeup like a dream. Alrighty, let's go full glam. We're gonna go full coverage. I'm going to use my favorite MAC brush. This is the MAC 170. And what I was telling you before, the difference between this baby and that baby is that this is a dual fiber brush and this one is a buffing brush, and it's a lot more dense and a lot more flat, and it's going to give you a lot of coverage. So that's what we're going to do. Taking this again onto the back of my hand. This video is actually such a waste of product, but I'm just gonna buff it onto the face. You see what I mean? Like coverage. Actually pretty satisfying, you know? The fact that there is a product that, you know, covering everything you want to cover. Like that. Who invented foundation? I don't even know that. I'm gonna Google it today because I'm curious. And I don't have a pump because I broke it, but I think that I'm going to apply like 2 pumps on my entire face. And we are going to apply a powder on top of this, and you have a few choices. If you want to use a powder by MAC, you can use the Studio Fix powder. Keep in mind that a Studio Fix powder is a foundation, so it is not a natural powder. It's going to give you coverage, it's going to give you color depending on what shade you have, and I don't like to use this on top of this foundation because for me it's way too much. Why do I look so orange? I look a bit orange. And maybe that's because I never wear that much of this foundation. I don't like the way it looks on my face. When I do it at others, it looks flawless. Still looks flawless, but I don't like the way it looks. But yeah, what I was saying, Studio Fix powder is cover, it's gonna give you color, and I don't like to do that with this foundation because it's already so much coverage. You're gonna add coverage, and a lot of people are like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna use Studio Fix powder because it's gonna give me a matte finish. Of course, it is a matte powder and it's going to be matte when you apply it on top of this foundation, but it's not gonna keep your face matte. Keep that in mind. And another very important thing about this product is it warms up. It gets darker like after a half hour, an hour. And if you tried Studio Fix powder and you tried it in the store, and after that when you come home you're like, oh my god, that's the wrong shade. No, yeah, probably it is the wrong shade because the shade should have been one shade lighter. So keep that in mind. What I like to do is apply a mineral skin finish or this baby. I like this very much. This is the Studio Fix Perfecting Powder. It's like a filter in a jar. Let's apply the powder right now. Let's go completely matte. And I like to press the powder onto my face. I don't like to go like this, never with powder, because only thing I'm gonna do is remove, like not remove, but move the liquid foundation, and we want to set it, so that's why I like to press. This is such a beautiful powder. It's like a filter, and you all like that, right? Don't lie, we all like it, we all use it. My face has always been on Facetune before it's on Instagram, so yeah, this is the full coverage version of the Studio Fix Fluid with some Studio Perfecting powder. I'm not really a fan of the color because it looks a bit orange on my skin. I don't know why that is, to be honest. This is the first time applying this foundation this way because I would never wear it like this. I don't like it. No, I just don't like it. I think for people with like more oily skin, you're gonna love it because it's gonna give you, you know, a very matte finish, but I don't have that, so it's not my thing, but this is how it looks like. Last but not least, my way of using the Studio Fix Fluid. I use a lot of products. Of course, I use the MAC Strobe Cream and I'm using this shade Silver. I used to use gold, but then the other trainer from MAC told me that the silver one had a lot more glow in it, a lot more luminosity, so of course I went for silver. So what I use the essential oils, the strobe cream. I didn't know what I was saying before I sneezed, so essential oils, strobe cream, Studio Fix Fluid of course, and then the MAC Prep and Prime. So spraying this onto my face, of course moisturizer and a primer. I do not use primer all the time. I do use a pore minimizing primer around here, but that's just because I like to wear a lot of highlighter and I don't want to highlight my pores. Okay, so what I like to do, I am taking this strobe cream, then adding 2-3 drops of the essential oils. I am going to mix them together. That actually feels terrible, but try this onto my face. You know, I like this, right? I like when my face is very glowy, very luminous. This is just my jam, and this is the only way how I use Studio Fix Fluid. To be honest, I hated this foundation. I hated it, and that was because years ago I went to a MAC store and they advised me to use this on my face with a Studio Fix powder, and I bought it and then it was terrible and I hated the way my face looked. And so I never used it again until I learned that there are some other ways how you can use it. So that's actually why I wanted to make this video. So I have everything on my face how I like it. Do you see how glowy that silver strobe cream is? I mean, I like that, especially with like 2 or 3 drops from the essential oils. And what I'm going to do, I am going to add this onto the back of my hand, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of the strobe cream to the foundation. And I like to use a beauty blender to apply this baby. You know what I would like MAC to do is the shade C5 in Makeup Base and Body, which we all know is my favorite foundation. I wish that shade was in their foundations. I know they have MAC Studio Fix Fluid in C5.5, but that is not the same at all as the Face and Body in C5. Not at all. And that's another thing you got to keep in mind. Like, MAC works with NC and W, but they also work with numbers. And when you, let's say you have NC40 in Studio Fix Fluid, do not think that you have NC40 in mineralized foundation or waterway foundation, because there is a difference. Of course, like, they're almost the same, but they're not. So don't buy another foundation before you test it out in your face. And then MAC also has, only in Studio Fix Fluid, like the N colors and the C colors. I'm a really big fan of the C range. There are not a lot of colors in the C range, but I like it for people when, like, the yellow foundations, the NC are too yellow, the NW are too pink. Then you have the C who's like, which is like in between. Very, very beautiful. So if you can't figure out what your shade is, NC and W doesn't match, try the C. Most of the time it looks beautiful on the skin. And you also have Match Master, which is a combination of NC and NW. Alright, and I know you're gonna get tired of me, but I'm taking strobe cream again, and I'm just gonna apply it on the highest point of my cheek. And blend it out. And this is how I like to use Studio Fix Fluid. It is the only way how I use it, and I love it. You see, it's not too matte because I like that. It is very glowy, very dewy, and that's just because of the strobe cream and strobe cream in combination with essential oils. This is how I like it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quickly do the rest of my face because, as I told you, I have to go to work, and then I will be right back. So yeah, guys, I am back, and that was the video. Of course, there is one fix way I didn't show you, and that is applying the Studio Fix powder on its own on your face. I'm not going to do that because that just doesn't look good on my skin at all. It looks ugly, and not going to do it because you need to have a certain face, like a certain skin type, where it looks good. On my face, we're not going to do that. But I do have my favorite shade, that is C7, which I use to bronze my face. I have it on my face right now. And what I also like to do is apply this as a transition color on my eyes. I have a video, a Fix Femme video on my Instagram. I will link the video down below so you can see a lot more ways how to use the Studio Fix powder. And that is how I like to use it. I think we're done with the video. Let me know if this video was helpful, and of course let me know if you have tips and tricks that I didn't talk about, because I would love to know. I love makeup hacks, tips and tricks, you know, that kind of stuff. Please share it with me. I would love to read it, and let me know if you are part of the Fix family. And yeah, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new and you want to see more videos, then please hit the subscribe button, and you will see me soon, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.